Can someone please explain to me why this generation of men wants to be chased by women?
The reason why he's not obsessed with you and is not going out of his way for you is because you do not know how.
There is something that is inherently feminine about a man that is playing hard to get.
Women need to start charging for emotional damage.
The thing is, men are putting themselves first. Chasing a woman is the last thing in mind.
So this is the secret on how to get a man obsessed with you, spoiling you, worshiping you, giving you princess treatment even after you guys have been in a relationship.
You want him to chase you like a loyal golden retriever, you have to be the black cat.
Welcome to Manipulation 101.
Chasing a modern woman is like jumping into debt. What's the point of investing your time? Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
If you are interested in a high-value man and you want him to pursue you, then these are 4 tips that...
Guys, if you're trying to figure out if a man likes you, I need you to understand something. Men are so obsessive.
It's not simping if you can afford it.
If you're dealing with a nonchalant man, I need you to listen to this. If you are stuck in a situationship, I need you to listen to this.
You want him to be crazy about you and value you over every other woman? I got you.
If you want someone to be obsessed with you, if he's not pursuing you, I'm going to share exactly what you can do.
Stop! There is grown men that are still children because they want the pretty girl. They want arm candy. They're like, oh yes, like I want her. She's bad. But they don't want what comes with her. They don't want her problems. They don't want her emotions. They don't want her frustrations. And much less her bills. They do not want that. They want her to come as is. They want her to have a career. They want her to have children. They want her to be happy all the time. They don't want you to have strong opinions. Anyways, and they pretty much are like a kid because a grown-ass man is gonna take care of that and more.
Why would a man suddenly come in the picture and want your frustration, your problems, and your bills? You're an adult, and those are your responsibilities, not the responsibilities of a man who's simply trying to get to know you. Since when did it become a man's job to fund your lifestyle just because he shot his shot? When did dating turn into a financial obligation? Since when did showing interest mean signing up to become your provider, therapist, and ATM all in one? A man approaching you doesn't mean he's agreeing to carry your baggage. He's expressing interest, not entering a contract. This mindset is poisoning the minds of so many women. The idea that a man showing interest should instantly step in and fix. Your life is not only unrealistic, it's damaging. It's breeding a generation of women who confuse love with leverage and dating with dependence. Let's be real. Most men today aren't out here looking for a dependent. They're not trying to raise a grown woman or play the role of a financial lifeline.
I've said this a lot, but I'm going to say it again because I've been away for a while. If a guy is not literally obsessed with you, we don't fuck with him. Bottom line. We become so obsessed with getting these losers to like us before we even know if we like them as a human.
I'm going to get straight to the point here. If you want men to start viewing you as a high value woman, start treating you with the utmost respect, the only thing that you need to do is start giving yourself that energy first. I swear, if you start walking around believing that you are a blessing to be around, like every man is blessed to be around you, you offer so much value, they will start to literally view you that way. They will be doing everything for you. They would want to do anything for you. Why? Because you created that identity for yourself and they are just mirroring it back to you.
She's crazy!
Okay, girlies, this is how to get princess treatment from men, how to get them to worship the ground that you walk on. What are my qualifications? I used to exclusively only date 50-50 dusty men who would ask me to split the bill. And in the last 2 years of dating, I have not paid a single time. Really, used to not even get flowers on Valentine's Day. And now I get gifts just for existing. So here's what you gotta do. You gotta brainwash yourself and rewrite your past. Literally keep telling yourself that every man has always spoiled you so that when you show up, this is really important, when you show up to dates, when you show up with new men, you simply act like you assume that they will spoil you. So I show up now and I just act like I assume they're going to pay the bill. I assume they're going to, pull my chair out for me. I assume that they're going to open doors for me.
If they don't, I'll just stand there and I'll look at them like, expectantly. When you act like this, men can either embarrass themselves by not doing what you want, or they're going to realize that you only accept princess treatment, that they got to be gentlemen when they take you out.
Basically, for the past 2 years, she's been getting free meals, free attention, and free validation from simps, all while refusing to commit to a single one of them. Now, she's trying to teach other women how to stay single, how to play the field, and how to keep using men without giving anything real in return. The sad part is, a lot of women out here have bought into this mindset. They think they deserve to be treated like royalty just for existing, not for bringing peace, loyalty, or any real value to a man's life. They expect men to splurge on them, invest time, money, and energy, but offer nothing back but attitude and entitlement. And when you ask, what's the benefit of treating you like a princess? They have no real answer. It's all just an empty expectation, fueled by social media and modern dating culture that tells women they are queens, no matter how they act.
Let's fucking go. Let's go. I guess.
Okay, so you want him to chase you, pursue you, plan things, take initiative, all that fun stuff, right? One question. How can he chase you when you're always available and right there? You can't chase what's not moving.
It's not simping if you can afford it.
Oh good, a materialistic take on this one.
It's not simping if you can afford it. I know it's simping to you, sir, because you would have to be crazy in love to drain your bank account to do the bare minimum.
I think we need a ruling on what should be considered the bare minimum. Because if an average guy has to drain their bank account in order to meet what some women consider to be the bare minimum, that's not the minimum. That's crazy.
But it's not simping when you can afford it. And they can. So to them, it's a little gesture. It's the bare minimum.
Something about a rose by any other name?
You gotta scrape your little coins together to do an act of simping for you. And to them, it's like a coffee. And I know that hurts sometimes.
Is it me, or is the entire purpose of this to try to shame guys into spending more money so that they can be perceived to meet that bare minimum standard? Oh dear.
But it's not simping if you can afford it.
Let's be very clear here. The average woman certainly doesn't consider a guy buying her things to be the bare minimum. That is actually, in most circles, considered to be above and beyond. But some women have actually convinced themselves and the guys that they're dating that that is the bare minimum, and that's what they have to do to keep them.
Imagine trying to shame a man because he won't drain his bank account for you, and then turning around and saying he can't even do the bare minimum. The funny thing is, most of the women who say that have a twisted, self-serving definition of what the bare minimum even is. To them, the bare minimum means constant gifts, expensive dates, covering bills, funding their lifestyle, and giving them access to a lifestyle they can't even afford on their own. That's not the bare minimum. That's a financial fantasy, and they want someone else to foot the bill for it. These same women will claim, "I'm not asking for much," while their idea of not much is a man breaking his back and his bank just to keep up with their entitled expectations. And when he doesn't, suddenly he's not a real man. Nah, he's just not a sucker. What they call the bare minimum is really just code for how much can I get out of him before I have to offer anything real in return. No effort, no loyalty, no peace, just demands.
I'm so sorry, but there are so many situations where somebody will tell me something that a man did, and I'm like, babes, he likes men. He's treating you like that because he likes men. He's cheating on you like that because he likes men. Like,
Are you stupid?
Feminine and masculine energies are so out of balance in the world right now. I heard these lyrics the other day that woke me up to why this is, and I'm going to share them with you in a second. Where women used to be serenaded and adored through music, they are now being degraded and disrespected. These are the lyrics that I heard. I'ma treat her like a dog. I'ma feed her like a dog. Then pass her to my dog.
Ouch! Where have all the good women gone?
I don't know, but I can tell you where all the toxic, narcissistic, deflective, masculine ones are. They're on Bumble, Hinge, and Tinder. Tell ya, I arranged a date yesterday, and I found a woman who looked pretty conservative. Her tits weren't hanging out of her shirt, her ass wasn't front and center in the photos, and she was wearing minimal makeup. She also expressed some values and tools and skills. Perfect. Might have found a princess. Well, she needed some help today to get picked up from the dealership where her car was getting dropped off an hour and a half away from my house. I drove an hour and a half to assist her and pick her up, take her for a hike and a coffee. Guess what? She ghosted me. I got a message 36 minutes later. Oh, sorry, I slept in and I had my earplugs in. I didn't hear your phone call. I told her that behavior was unacceptable and I wouldn't tolerate disrespect and or ghosting. Her response was to blame me and suggest that I'm an asshole. Where are all the...
You're gonna get princess treatment in 2024 and make him literally obsessed with you. One thing about men you probably don't know, they want to protect you, they want to make you feel safe, they just want to feel needed, they want to feel like they're doing something for you, so my advice is let him do it. Can I open a car door for myself? Of course I can. Am I going to do it when he's around? Absolutely not. You want princess treatment, you have to act deserving of princess treatment. You have to love yourself, you have to be confident in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, what makes you think that man is gonna believe in you? You don't think you're deserving of being treated like a queen, then what makes you think he's gonna treat you like a queen? All starts within yourself. You have to love yourself and you have to show him that you love yourself. Create standards for yourself and create boundaries. Let him know from the beginning what you like, what you don't like, and what you expect to be treated like.
But that's the problem. Too many women today think they should automatically receive princess treatment just because they exist. Being a woman alone isn't an accomplishment. Simply existing doesn't qualify you for loyalty, investment, or commitment from a good man. A man will naturally want to do these things: spoil her, protect her, provide for her, if there's genuine effort from her side. When a woman brings peace, loyalty, support, and real appreciation into a man's life, it inspires him to give her the world without her even having to ask. Men aren't complicated. They are wired to provide for someone they feel deserves it. When a woman is genuine, feminine, nurturing, and truly invested in the man, he wants to lead, he wants to provide, he wants to protect. But when a woman just shows up expecting everything while giving nothing in return, but demands entitlement and attitude, the man's natural desire to give dies. No real man wants to be used, manipulated, or treated like an ATM.
So this is the secret on how to get a man obsessed with you, spoiling you, worshiping you, giving you princess treatment even after you guys have been in a relationship or have been seeing each other. And this is the secret.
No! I feel like not a lot of guys realize this, but being a simp is probably one of the hottest things you can do as a man. No! Being a loving, devoted partner, taking her out to dinner, opening her door, getting her flowers. Once you do all that, she's gonna run to all of her friends and brag about you. When she tells all of her friends about you, they're gonna think of you as a hero and think, oh, wish I had a guy like that. That's what I want. I think of you as the ideal man. You're gonna seem really cool to them. And on the opposite spectrum, the anti-sip behaviors, the view of thinking, oh, I'm not gonna call her back, I'm not gonna buy her flowers, she's never bought me flowers, why do I need to get her flowers? That type of behavior, she's gonna go and tell her friends about it. And you know what they're gonna say? They're gonna be like, oh, I'm so sorry, babe, you're gonna find the right one eventually.
Just think about how many men have done exactly that. They poured out their time, their money, their energy, treated women like queens, only to get used, played, called clingy, or completely discarded the moment the woman got bored. Pedestalizing a woman doesn't make her stay. Being a simp doesn't earn loyalty. A woman can only be kept if she wants to be kept, if she values the man for who he is, not just for what he can do for her. This whole idea that if you just treat her right and be a gentleman, everything will work out, is a fantasy. If that were true, good, genuine men would be the most respected, the most loved, and the most chosen. But they're not. They're often ignored, overlooked, or used as emotional or financial crutches until something better comes along. The truth is, respect isn't earned by being overly nice or self-sacrificing. It's earned when a man has standards, when he values himself first, and when he's willing to walk away from anyone who doesn't appreciate him.
Here are 3 things to never do if you start to date someone new and you want them to continue to pursue you and chase you. Number 1, don't be so available all the time. People value what's less available to them. So have some mystery to you, let them miss you, continue to live your life, and they'll be wondering about you. Versus if you're available all the time, there's no mystery there for them, and it's going to be too easy. Number 2, I've already made a video about this on my page, but as a feminine energy person, do not push the relationship along. Let them guide the relationship, decide what's the next steps. Don't ask what we are, where are we going. That's going to push him away, because if he's in his masculine energy, he's going to guide the relationship. Don't be the one texting him all the time, calling him all the time. Let him pursue you. The feminine energy receives. And number 3, don't be so obsessed with them right away. Don't check his social media all the time, call him all the time, wonder what he's doing. Let go, relax, be at ease. Know that is him or someone better.
Ladies, this is a friendly reminder that if the man you're interested in isn't obsessed with you, then you need to cut it off. Because if he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to text you, you'd have a text. If he wanted to take you on a date, he would ask. And if he wanted to be in your presence, he would make it happen. So if those things aren't happening, then you have your answer already. Take yourself off of the hook. Because the man that you're meant to be with is going to treat you like a fucking princess. And if you're treated like anything less than that, you're wasting your time and energy.
I think there are a lot of men out there suffering in silence with narcissistic women. And they would just rather put their head down and try to tough it out and try to make it work, because that's what good men do. Because they see walking away as a failure. They think they failed. When in reality, if you're with a narcissistic woman, it is never going to work. You cannot make a relationship work with a narcissist. You have to get out. It is not a failure. It is you saying that you know your self-worth, and you are not going to allow any more disrespect and tolerate anything that you do not deserve, showing that you have self-love and self-respect. So you need to get out and go no contact and start doing the inner work.
Walked away from one a few years ago. Best thing I ever did. Love being alone now. We can't express ourselves without being labeled as something bad. I got out and have never been as happy as I am right now. It was the best decision I ever made. You just have to stand up and do it. Hardest pill I've ever had to swallow is realizing the biggest love I've ever felt was not real. I'll agree, there are far too many good men out here stuck dealing with narcissistic, selfish women, and they refuse to walk away. And it's not because they're weak. It's because they spent years building that family, pouring their heart, soul, and life into it. To them, it's not just a relationship. It's their legacy, their identity, their responsibility. There are even men who stay in toxic marriages, in loveless homes, enduring constant disrespect, simply because they can't bring themselves to destroy what they worked so hard to build. They'd rather suffer quietly than see their children grow up in broken homes. They sacrifice their own happiness for the sake of keeping the family together, because deep down, men are sacrificial beings. A man's instinct is to endure, to protect, to preserve, even if it costs him his peace, even if it costs him his health, even if it slowly kills him inside. But that's not good, because sometimes enduring for way too long have destroyed those men, mentally and physically.
Can we talk about the average man that's on dating apps? That man has to swipe right 200 times before he plans one coffee date, and 4 of those 5 coffee dates will end up ghosting him. That means that that man of average attractiveness has to swipe right 1,000 times before actually going on one coffee date. That man has to have so much internal self-confidence and self-worth for this not to start chipping away at who he is. And then on top of that, women all day long will tell him that that man just needs to do better. He needs to grow as a person. He needs to be funnier. He should dress better, and he should start taking better pictures. He should redo his dating profile. That man very often will do these things. But more often than not, there is no change, and then that man just becomes more frustrated with dating today. So much so that that man just decides to stay single. And that man will either just get lucky someday and he'll eventually meet a good woman, or he will find happiness in his singleness.
That is correct. These men are changing. They're hitting the gym, taking better photos, improving their style, learning how to present themselves online, doing everything they can to increase their chances. And still, the reality is, dating apps aren't the place for the average man. He doesn't have a chance. Him swiping 200 times just for one date is like buying 200 lottery tickets just to win a free coffee. The return on investment is so low, it's laughable. And the worst part? That one date isn't even guaranteed to go anywhere. She might ghost, cancel last minute, or just use it for a free meal and attention. Meanwhile, he's drained, mentally and emotionally. Dating apps have become a digital casino where the house always wins, and the average man is stuck pulling the lever, hoping for a jackpot that rarely comes. Women don't want average men. They want the guy who keeps breaking their hearts. That's why they cry on TikTok all the time.
The key to get him to chase you again is to take the spotlight, the energy, your energy off of him and back onto you. If you're the one in the relationship doing the pushing, trying for the connection, pushing you guys to get together, hang out, date, connect, talk, then you're in your masculine energy. And you probably don't feel good in that energy. We as women naturally want to be chased, and men naturally want to chase us. They're the hunters. They're the ones that want to go out and achieve, get. We are the prize. We are the ones that naturally feel the best when we are chased. So your relationship has probably fell flat if you're the one chasing him. To revive your relationship, get him back to chasing you, you have to put the energy back on you, the spotlight back on you. Nothing works better than taking care of yourself, filling yourself up, showing him your worth, your value for him to want to chase you. You have to have your standards, and if he is not meeting them, then you're bored. Move on. Place your attention elsewhere. Go do what you want to do. Set yourself free. And when you do that energetically, that opens up the space for him to chase you, and it gives him the thrill of the chase because now there's distance between you. Now he wants to chase you, and he sees something of value to chase.
The reason why so many women complain that men aren't chasing them anymore is simple. They don't reciprocate. That word right there, reciprocate, it's practically absent from the modern woman's vocabulary. Too many women have been taught that just showing up is enough. That being attractive is the full extent of their contribution. But the truth is, no man, especially one with standards, is going to keep pouring into someone who doesn't pour back. A man will gladly go above and beyond for his woman when he sees she's putting in effort too, when he feels valued, not used, when he sees she's not just taking, but giving, supporting and nurturing the connection. It's not about chasing, it's about building. But building can't happen if one person's laying bricks while the other is just watching from the sidelines, arms crossed, expecting more. Modern dating has turned into this lopsided dynamic where men are expected to pursue, provide, protect, and plan, while some women believe they're entitled to all of that just because they exist.
Are men actually unaware of how we flirt with you? Because I swear, up until today, I thought this was the most obvious thing that you could do. Like, I wouldn't look back if I didn't want you to come over here. When they didn't, I was like, oh, they're just not interested. But apparently, my TikTok comments think that they just didn't know the whole time. They're lying, right?
Men are 100% unaware. That look is only going to have a man thinking that you're either giving him a side eye, or you're amused, or you're judging him, or you think he's being weird, or you're checking to make sure that he's not creeping on you. But what I can say is for sure, 10 out of 10 guys guys will have no idea that that is you inviting him, which is why I've said it before and I will say it again. If you as a woman are interested in a man, you need to go walk your leggies over and then use your big girl words and tell him that you're interested in him and give him your number. That is being clear.
I agree.
Women need to start charging for emotional damage.
Well, some women are already wanting to charge for their time, as it were. So this would be the next logical step, right?
My ex and I broke up. I told him that he owed me for wasting my time, and he sat there and he sent me an Apple Pay.
Well, that explains it. They were dating a man with no backbone, otherwise known as a simp.
If that man wasted your time, charge him for it.
Wouldn't it be easier just to advertise?
Because I guarantee you, he's probably going to pay you something.
Not if he has any sort of self-esteem. But then again, they might have a point, because the types of men that some of these women choose to date that actually think that they're going to get paid for their time don't actually want men that have self-esteem. They prefer the ones that are easily manipulated into getting to do what they want.
Hey, baby, we are on a biological clock. Our time is very valuable.
I would say that a man's time is just as valuable as a woman's, which leads me to my next point.
Charge that man if he doesn't marry you.
Well, if we're going to view relationships as strictly transactional, then in the spirit of equality, men better start asking for compensation for all the time, energy, and money wasted on women that aren't interested in relationships.
She did manage to state one truth in all that nonsense. Women are on a biological clock. But the crazy part is, most don't even start worrying about it until it's nearly too late. They waste their prime years chasing attention, validation, and bad decisions. Women are already trying to charge men for their time and existence, but now she's telling women to charge men for emotional damage. That's just funny. It's crazy how far the entitlement has gone. Simply showing up, breathing the same air as a man, and giving minimal effort is now seen as something that deserves payment. She cries about emotional damage, but what about the damage women dump onto men? What about the betrayal, disrespect, emasculation, and constant emotional weight men carry without saying a word? No one cares when a man gets destroyed emotionally. He's just expected to man up and suffer in silence.
If men want to be in their feminine era, that's fine. Do your thing. Just know I'm not fucking chasing you, okay? And no one should be chasing you. I'm not going to beg you to talk to me. I'm not going to beg you to hang out with me. I'm not going to beg you for anything. I'm going to simply forget about you. The flakiness that I've experienced from dudes, only for them to be like, well, you didn't text me. Were you scared to text me?
Men love the chase, okay? Deny it all you want, resist it. It's not going to change them. They are biologically wired to win. They are wired to pursue. It's in their DNA. Think all the way back to the cavemen days. They hunt. It's what they do. So why are you out here doing the chasing for them? You've got to stop. If you do not stop chasing after men, you're robbing them of that instinct, and it's immediate turnoff. So you're actually doing yourself a disservice. It's easier to just sit back, relax, and let them do the work. Know that you are a prize and allow the men the opportunity to win you. Trust me, if a man truly likes you, he will step up to the plate, he will chase, and he will pursue. If he doesn't do that, he was just looking for a booty call, and be glad you didn't give it to him.
Maybe men did like the chase when there was actually something meaningful at the end of it. And that was a feminine woman who understood how relationship dynamics truly work. And she's right. Let's think all the way back when women weren't as entitled as they are today. It wasn't always about what they could take from a man. There was a time when women valued who the man was, not just what he could provide. Relationships used to be about mutual effort, not one-sided expectations. A man that genuinely likes a woman will absolutely show interest. He'll initiate. He'll be present. But the moment he realizes you're only interested in being chased, like it's some kind of ego boost or game, that's when he walks away. Not because he's not man enough, but because men with integrity, confidence, and self-respect don't play by those rules. They don't chase women who treat love like a competition. They don't jump through hoops just to prove their worth.
The reason why he's not obsessed with you and is not going out of his way for you is because you do not know how to set boundaries. You are so easily impressed. You give in to anything that he says. If he asks you to come over to his place as a date and you say, okay, sure, should I bring a bottle of wine? No. You are showing him that you are so easy to impress. You're driving to him. You're coming up with something to bring to the occasion when all you really need to bring is yourself. But even then, you accepting a date of you coming over to his place is not going to get him to see you as valuable. Men will test you just to see what they can get away with. It's just naturally how they are, because if they don't have to put in work into something, they won't, right? But if you show them that these are expectations that they need to follow, and this is something that you expect for yourself, like, no, I would like to be taken out to dinner. I don't come over, I don't really feel comfortable with that yet, but I would love to see you, so let me know what you decide. I just realized I'm lost my earring, whatever. Anyways, you guys need to stop giving in so easily to these men. They're not gonna feel like they have to work that hard to get you to like them. Men value things they actually have to work a little bit harder for. Trust me, they do. If you ignore their text, you don't respond right away, if you don't give in to their requests easily, they're going to see, like, I got to step it up a bit. Okay. They're going to see that you carry yourself a certain way. You have standards for yourself and they need to match that. And if they're not matching that, they know you have an energy that you could just walk away. And that's the reason why they do not see you as this prize, because you don't see yourself as a prize. You have to see yourself as the prize, and they will act accordingly if they like you, or it will make them see you again as putting you up on that pedestal. You have to put yourself on that pedestal, and a man will match that. If he doesn't, then he sucks and bye, right? Stop giving in so easily to these men. They're going to naturally test you. Don't be so desperate for their attention and for their love and for their validation. He's just a man. There's plenty of them. Plenty of them. You are always the prize. Always, always, always the prize. Watch how much of a difference these men will treat you when you treat yourself like you are the most amazing top priority ever, and that you love yourself and that you're so obsessed with yourself. They will be obsessed with you if you're obsessed with you. If you don't believe it right now, you will eventually. That's just how the mind naturally works. You tell yourself something enough times, you're going to believe it. Just remember to stay safe, and I love you.
Last time I checked, a relationship was a two-way street. Since when was generosity only for one gender to fulfill and also initiate everything? Whenever these women speak, you never hear them talk about how they should cater to a man. It's always about what the man should do, what he should pay for, where he should take her, how he should make her feel special, but never about what she should be doing for him. If she wants to go somewhere, why can't she speak up or plan something nice for a man? Why is it always the man's job to chase, to plan, to spend, and to make everything happen? It's crazy how they preach equality, but expect all the traditional treatment with none of the traditional effort. They want kings, but act like peasants when it comes to giving back.
There is no such thing as a biological woman. I was born a baby, it doesn't mean I still am one. Grow the fuck up.
Are you stupid?
Give men this one thing and they will be obsessing over you and chasing you like a crazy person. My darling, let me give you the blueprint of being treated like a queen in a relationship. Let's get started. The first thing you need to realize is what men crave most in a relationship. That is freedom. One word, freedom. Men feel like they're caged in a cage and become a caged bird as soon as they get into a relationship. That is why they cheat or they leave relationships, or they don't want to be in relationship with women. That is why you need to realize you need to give him a sensation or feeling of that he is having his freedom, even though he's in a relationship with you. If you can give him the feeling of freedom, he will chase you and be obsessed with you 24/7, even though how many years you're married or in a relationship with that man. You need to realize, how do you make him feel like you are giving him freedom? That is by acting that you're unbothered. Selfish women. Becoming a selfish woman. A selfish woman is self-centered, self-absorbed, and she has her goals, dreams, passion, hobbies, friend group, and she has a life beyond the relationship. So if he disappoints her, or if he is not available for something, she doesn't get upset, she doesn't cry, she doesn't beg, she doesn't plead for it. She does it with somebody else. She has friends to go out with. She has herself to go out with. She's okay with going for a solo date rather than sitting at home because he couldn't come back from work at time for the date. Guess what? She's not leaving the reservation. She's going on her own. She is living her life. She's taking those pictures by asking the waiters around in the restaurant for a nice picture. She's taking the picture of the food, posting on social media because her life doesn't depend on the man. And if he truly disappoints her, she is leaving. She's packing her bags and leaving. She is not asking, begging and going like, why did you cheat on me? Why are you like that? I love you. Nah, she's not doing that. That's a nice girl who does that. She begs, pleads. She's trying to control the relationship. Like, please stay with me like this. And he thinks that is controlling because you're caging him. But selfish women don't do that. They're like, okay, you didn't meet my standards. I'm leaving. Bye. That way he thinks that you have given him freedom. But the truth is you are actually controlling the relationship and making sure that your standards are met. And if they're not, you're leaving. You're not wasting your energy, time, emotions, your tears, your precious availability for a man who does not attain to the standards you want him to attain. That is the cheat code, my darling.
I do agree. Men don't want to feel like they're in a cage when they're in a relationship. That sense of freedom, trust, and respect matters more than people realize. And the reason a man will actually cherish her more is because she's not trying to control him. She's not turning the relationship into a set of rules, curfews, and emotional restrictions. She mentions women do that by being selfish, but that's incorrect. Because when a man starts noticing that his woman is no longer invested in the relationship, and now everything is suddenly all about her needs, her time, her goals, her fun, he's going to mentally check out, and eventually he'll just leave. Why? Because relationships are about balance, not neglect, disguised as empowerment. See, there's a difference between maintaining your identity and completely detaching from your partner emotionally. When a man starts to feel like he's just there to serve her happiness while being ignored, he's not going to fight for a spot in her life, especially not a man with options, confidence, and self-worth.
Will anybody out there date me? I've got to prove this guy wrong. He says there's a reason you're single. Nothing you say will change that. So I'm going to try my best to convince you today. My pitfalls. First of all, I'm a redhead. Number one. Number two is I can be temperamental because of my hair colour. I'm a little bit aggressive and I'm a little bit mood swingy. You can deal with that. I'm sure you can. My pros is be your therapist. I used to be an assistant psychologist, so I can listen to you, we can talk things through, and I will always listen to your advice because I know you probably will come up with some logical reasonings and I am willing to listen to that. And I can cook. I'm a very good cook. If you have watched any of my videos, you know I can cook very well. I can clean thoroughly. I actually am really passionate about cleaning. I find it thoroughly enjoyable. And finally, I can give you as many back massages, foot rubs, as you would please, okay? I will give you as many as you would like. There is no number to it, and I will make sure that you're treated like the king that you are. Has that convinced anybody? Please!
Well, does anybody want to stand up to the challenge? Honestly, I'd say those are some pretty good qualities, if they're actually true, but let's not confuse that with expecting a man to deal with your temper tantrums, aggressive nature, or constant mood swings. That's not strength. That's emotional instability. And for a lot of men, that's a major turnoff. It doesn't scream strong woman, it screams lack of emotional control. You can't expect a man to be your emotional punching bag just because you refuse to do the inner work. Some women think being difficult makes them high value, but all it really does is push good men away. Because no man with self-respect wants to constantly manage someone's unchecked emotions. That's not a relationship, that's a job. The truth is, emotional maturity is attractive. Knowing how to communicate without yelling and how to express yourself without exploding.